Here we go. 180. Corky. 82. Corky.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devon Kennard coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. To throw, it's Wentz. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Ready. Blue 60.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Hurry.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
11.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Not the way they wanted to begin things. You had the interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to 3 points.
And remember our conversation with him prior to the ball game? He said they had something special designed for the first play. It didn't hit. Let's see if he can rebound from it and not let it get him down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
5.
Now Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
To throw again on second down. Stafford hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
First down, Lions. He goes, set! Get a lady! Get a lady! Hey! Hey, 5-0!
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
First down, Detroit.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Ready? 280!
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
Ready, hot?
51 to Mike.
Ready, hot?
Now Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
51 to Mike. Down to lose one. 51, Mike. Mike 50.
Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Fletcher Cox able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Now Stafford. Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And this score will stay right where it is.
Here we go.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On 1st down, they run with Howard. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They run with Howard, and they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that right there is something we've seen, I don't know, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
It's 2nd down.
Theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford. Got a man. It's Amendola. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
17 yards. And the Lions.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. Stafford
to his tight end, James. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Monday. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. He's coming. Double right.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to...
And it's a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the screen. Watch the 11. Watch the screen. 25. Check 25. Zero. Get against the mic. Hey, go hit.
Here's Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 yards there, 1st down.
1st down, Detroit.
Set. Yellow 80. Yellow 80.
Big 20. You draw Porter.
Middle.
Stafford on 1st down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Amendola catching it left side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Danny Amendola, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions have taken the lead. Prater for the extra point. And the lead is now 10-3.
Lions 10, Eagles 3.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. He sets to fire deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Well, they have the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Throwing is Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Stafford. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
Let's go, folks.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Johnson. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Double tight, guys, double tight. We got 4. We got 4. Hey, I got you.
Hey, 50.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Up to make the stop, the Pro Bowl safety, Malcolm Jenkins.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
He's coming in. Ringer, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Stafford on third down. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what, with his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now wins. And this is Ertz with it, right side. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on him all game long.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing his Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now a throw here to his running back. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the
blitz coming, and down he goes. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Running from the gun, Johnson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Hey, easy. 32. 51.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. James has got it. Complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
22.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4.
Slam. 53. Ready.
Check.
Johnson. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
20! And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. C.J. Anderson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw is Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. On first down, Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Here's Wentz to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Oh, what a juke into space. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
First down, Lions.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
We want it. Come.
Stay 50, stay 50.
Bang, 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 bang.
Now Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They're going draw play. Stafford to Johnson. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. His throw caught at about the 5. A very solid gain of 27.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. To Johnson again. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll the offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Strip that ball.
Out of the gun, this is Howard. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Wentz to throw for it on 4th. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Lions, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.